Right, Wahiga, we have the petitioner, the lawyer representing the petitioners, that is John Jomwe Hele Khalifa, that is Harun Dube. And first of all, your reaction after the judges just dismissed your petition?
Unbelievable. However, they said they have reserved their reasons for the judgment for delivery within the next 21 days. We expect to hear what they are saying so that we understand the reasons for their decision. However, I can only urge Kenyans not to react violently to the decision, to accept it as any legal outcome. Indeed, because as a country we must focus on developing our law, developing our rules and regulations, and therefore moving forward, I expect that we should be expecting our judges to explain themselves.
And Wakili, just before you leave, you're saying that you reserve your comments until you can read the final judgment, but looking at it, do you believe that you had a strong case when you are coming to court?
Yes, indeed, the case we had is very strong, irrespective of the reasons the judges have. The issue is the questions that we raised in court are valid, important questions. So that's why I'm saying let us hear from the judges what the reasons they dismissed the petitions for. Thank you.
All right, that has been Harun Dube, and let's now cross over to Francis Gachuri. He has some of the parties in this case. Gachuri?
Yes, I can see more and more lawyers continue to make their way here, and I can see lawyer Amenasser Abdullahi. Let's try and grab a quick interview with him. Senior Counsel Amenasser, you're one of the lawyers representing President Uhuru Kenyatta. Your reaction to the verdict by the judges today?
No, we are happy with the judgment. I mean, we expected the same on 1st of September. It has come 2 months late, but we are fine with it.
What next?
I mean, now, I mean, you see that this judgment has these petitions have taken Kenya through a constitutional process. That process is now over. It has come to an end. The election of 2017 is over. So this is a time for the country to move forward. For, you know, all issues have been settled. So this is the way forward now. It is, I mean, it's the end of the story. It's the new beginning. And, you know, these people who agitate, I think it is now, everybody should realize that with finality, the process that was envisioned in the Constitution has come to an end. And people should respect the process because this has been a process.
On the 1st of September, you left this court crestfallen. What did you do differently for this verdict?
No, there is...
Yes, you are.
We were disappointed. I mean, we were not wrong. They were wrong. They got it right this time because the law and the facts were the same. That election was perfectly in order. Everything was fine, just like this one was. But because they are a court that decides and makes a decision, everybody respected them. And when they said that let's go back to election, our clients went back to election, our opponents didn't turn up, we followed a process as provided for by the Constitution. We won that process, and the court said that this time you are right. And I think now it's time to move on. It's an end of the story. It's maneno imekusha.
But even as you say maneno imekwisha, there are still questions about the legitimacy of the election of your client.
Legitimacy is a legal issue, and the court has determined that that election was legitimate, provided conducted according to the Constitution. Every provision of the Constitution was adhered to. And for us, that's the end of the story. It's now the time to, you know, for the president to serve his five-year term, for him to be sworn. As I said, maneno imeisha. Yes.
Kipchumba Murkomen, Majority Leader in the Senate, is also here. Your initial reaction to the verdict by the judges today?
Well, we are very happy that finally justice has been done. We obviously believed that this decision was going to be made. There are people who misled our political competitors, and unfortunately we had among them senior lawyers lying to them that there was not going to be election on 26th. The answer today was unequivocal that elections was done on 26th of October. In that elections, Uhuru Kenyatta won, and that in the same way we agreed and lived with the judgment of September 1st, despite the misgivings we had, despite the fact that we believed that the judgment was erroneous, We lived by it because we believe in a country of rule of law and we believe in peace. Those of us who may be aggrieved by this judgment must live by the same consequence, the same way we did. And I call upon Kenyans to realize that fight for power, people who are fighting for leadership, must not lead to a situation that we have seen in the last few weeks where people are fighting. We must now forge a united country. I believe President Uhuru Kenyatta and will form a government that will unite the country, that will have a representation from all parts of the country. I believe also Raila Odinga will form an opposition together with the Kuru Okot and their team that will also unite the country and will check that government. And we know that Uhuru Kenyatta is serving his last term. We must milk the best out of him in terms of leaving his legacy. The work he did for the last 5 years, the rest of the Kenyans must now pull together to ensure that we do programs that will be long-lasting, that will leave the legacy for Uhuru Kenyatta but unite our country.
You're obviously cognizant of the political situation in the country.
Yes.
How does your party leader deal and his deputy deal with the situation to assuage both sides of the political divide?
We have always in the past been magnanimous in victory. And as you can see, unlike our colleagues, we are not going to go overboard because we know the responsibility of leading a country requires people who have sober minds and people who are recognizing the situation of that we live in. And therefore, those of us who are in Jubilee leadership, the president and its leadership, will ensure that we reach out to everybody. We give an opportunity to every voice. Every person who has a contrary opinion must be given a chance. Those of us who are in parliament are going to listen to our colleagues. Now I tell them there is no more reason why they should boycott parliament. They should quickly come back. We form the committees. And if there is an issue that every Kenyan feels like they are not being included in leadership or in terms of governance, we are ready to do everything that is humanly possible to bring Kenyans together.
Lastly, the question of the electoral justice and electoral reforms that the NASA team was asking for. Being a parliamentarian, how do you deal with this? Is there any proposal from the Jubilee team to address the specific electoral issues that NASA was raising?
Well, it will be, it is actually hypocrisy that persons who are elected in the same elections and who serve positions of governorship, senatorship, MPs are complaining about electoral injustices. So we must, if there are issues that are legal, we are more than willing to listen to every opinion that comes from every part of the country, but we must not create this false impression that electoral injustice is when one individual loses to win an elections.
Good.
Thank you very much.